If you're going to hold a CDL and you're going to drive a truck in this country, you better be able to meet the federal guidelines as to which language you should be speaking, writing, and understanding, reading, all that.
What's up, taters? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com. And oh my God, Governor Sarah Sanders is making things happen in Arkansas. Holy smokes, wait till you see the content I have for you in this video. So let me just walk you back to some full context. About a week or two ago, I think the first full week of March, okay, Arkansas had a bill. It has now been signed into law. So this was posted back in March the 4th, and it says, new Arkansas bill could ban foreign truckers from driving in the state. A proposed Arkansas bill, HB 1569, introduces strict new laws targeting non-citizen truck drivers. The bill would require all commercial drivers to hold a U.S.-issued CDL and meet strict English proficiency rules or face fines, impoundment, and even felony charges. Trucking companies could also be fined up to $10,000 for hiring drivers who don't meet the requirements. Critics warn this could disrupt supply chains and lead to legal challenges over potential discrimination. Supporters claim it's about road safety, but opponents argue it's unfairly singling out immigrant drivers. So we have this video right here from a truck driver who actually breaks down what has happened, because this bill has already been passed and it is signed into law. So let me just read real quick here and then we'll watch the video. English checks have begun. Truck drivers in Arkansas at a weigh station. They're stopping all trucks. Everyone is handed a piece of paper. They must read it out loud. They must also write what they're told to write.
Couldn't believe it. Going through Arkansas, I thought it was a joke. Got stopped at the weigh station in Arkansas and was handed a piece of paper and it says, "Can you read and write English?" I said, "Yes, sir, I sure can." He goes, "Can you read this?" So I read it to myself and I was like, okay. I started handing it back. He goes, no, read it out loud for me. So I read it out loud for him, and it was short and sweet, no problem. He goes, "Now can you write this for me on this paper?" And I did, and there was a whole bunch of people that have already written on it. And I was actually witnessing people in handcuffs that had been pulled in, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Uh-oh.
He goes, "Oh, we've come across now that if you cannot read or write in English, that it's a $5,000 fine, and if you have a company in Arkansas that employs people that can't read or write in English, it's a $10,000 fine paid on the spot. If you cannot pay it, you're automatically arrested and lose your license." What a shocker.
U.S. driver is so happy with a new law made by Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. He's clapping in his truck.
Round of applause for Sarah Huckabee Sanders out of Arkansas. You have to have a U.S. driver's license, a commercial driver's license, to drive in the state of Arkansas. They are no longer recognizing Canada's or Mexico's CDLs if you do not speak English. So you have to speak English to have a CDL and to operate a commercial motor vehicle in Arkansas. Thank you.
Well, I guess we're going to have to talk about this right here. Arkansas bill bans non-citizens from operating a commercial vehicle. This is the biggest part right here. English language proficiency. I was talking to a buddy the other day, talking about all these drivers out there that don't speak English. We have problems with them every day. They show up on days like Christmas Day, expect to be paid, and expect someone to be there to receive the vehicle. Every single vehicle comes in, and half of them are damaged, but they can't even speak with the driver to know what happened and how it happened. So my idea was, hey, when the DOT pulls over one of these guys or stops them at the weigh station, If there can't be a conversation between the driver and the officer, what they need to do is have some type of test, reading, writing, speech, whatever it may be. And if they can't pass that test, they shouldn't be operating on our roads here in America. The problem is they can't read bridge heights, they can't read warnings on the highway that tell you there's an accident up ahead, and all they do is just cause problems and drive rates right into the toilet.
I'm loving this. Now, I like that this is on a state-by-state basis, so you don't have these woke judges stopping executive orders or stopping the laws or challenging them on a federal level, okay? So I think this should go state by state, and I think all the southern states should be the first to go for this. We should follow behind Arkansas. I know Texas should do it, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, definitely Florida, okay? And then we'll just let the woke blue states, they'll just finally tag along on a federal level. I actually love this. I really, really do. But there are some people who don't think this is a good idea. Boom Shika over here is one of them.
There was a man who's a truck driver who just got online stating that basically they're stopping all trucks in Arkansas at their weigh station, and they have to be able to speak English. So what they're doing is that everyone is handed a piece of paper. They must read it out loud. They must also write what's being told to being written. And it's crazy as hell. He said he was witnessing people being in handcuffs, that he had been pulled in, and that he asked them what was going on. They basically they told him that you have to be able to read or write English. If not, it's a $5,000 fine.
Yes.
So it's getting crazy as hell. They're doing English checks, okay, y'all? This is crazy. So if you have a company in Arkansas that employs people that cannot read or write English, it's a $10,000 fine.
Imagine being outraged over this, okay? Imagine being in America, okay, where English is the mother tongue, and you're like, I can't believe they're expecting these people to speak English. What? This is America. Of course they should be speaking English. Oh my God, girl, get that bonnet off your head. It's too tight.
So if you cannot pay it, you're automatically going to be arrested, and you're going to lose your license.
Good.
So this is a crazy ass thing, but it's real. So according to the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, under 49 CFR, a driver must be able to read and speak English. Literally. This is actually a law. Okay, y'all?
Yeah, because this is actually America.
It said that to read and speak English language officially, to converse with general public, to understand highway traffic signs and signals in the English language. It has to be able to get done, and they're literally going to start charging people fines, charging businesses fines, sending people back to where they're from. Deport. It's getting crazy. They're basically stating that 8 out of 10 drivers who check in cannot speak English or read English. They are not sure how they even got their license to drive their trucks. This is crazy. Some people cannot even speak English at all and ask you to speak into their phone translator so they can understand what you're saying. So this is actually alarming.
I don't know how this is alarming. Really, you girl, get that bonnet off your head. You look like a clown and you sound like one too. There are a lot of videos I could have uploaded, but I don't want to make this a long video. I just wanted to show you the good news that they're covering all the bases, not only on a federal level, but also on a state level. Now, I know all states are not going to do this. I totally get it. But the fact that Arizona is leading the charge is a good sign.
Good afternoon and welcome to today's TED Talk on CDL drivers, commercial driver's license holders, driving tractor trailers that cannot speak English, cannot read it, cannot write it, cannot comprehend it, and cannot effectively communicate with law enforcement, other first responders. They cannot read and understand what the road signs say. And the, law enforcement agencies around the country have been told by the federal government a few years ago to ignore the rule that requires that truck drivers be able to proficiently read and speak English. And what they've done is, as part of an asylum and a refugee resettlement thing, is they've dumped a lot of these people into the truck driving pool. And they've taken lottery winners that have no real skill, but they just won a lottery to come here, and they dump them into the truck driving pool. Why have they done this, you ask? Well, one reason is this. You can rush them through a CDL school and send them to a shady trucking company to get their start. And then you can dump them in the driver pool, and they're going to work cheap, and they're going to run with very cheap rates that, because they are used to a lifestyle that we are not accustomed to and we do not want. We want a better lifestyle for us, our families, our kids. They don't care. They came from a place where that's just not a big importance to them to live at the same quality lifestyle that we do. But the American Trucking Association, they claim that they are for the trucker. They're not for the trucker. They're for the trucking company. They're for the big companies. They're for the Snyders, the JB Hunts, the ATSs, the Swiss, the Prime Incs, you name it, the really big ones. And those are their member companies, and they're a lobbying firm, and they want cheap labor, and they've been banging this drum about a driver shortage, and there's a whole other argument about driver shortage I might do another video on later. But anyway, but they say to prove that we need new drivers. Well, we can't attract drivers because we treat drivers really bad, and drivers' wages have been stagnant for 25, 30 years, and we don't know why nobody wants to be here, despite shippers and receivers abusing our time, law enforcement abusing us, looking at us as a cash cow, the courts, looking at us as a cash cow, municipalities not wanting us there, not allowing places to be built for us to park, available parking declining, food options and truck stops getting worse and worse, more unhealthy, and I can go on and on as why people don't want to get into this industry, nor do they want to stay when they do get in it. But the fact remains is they have labor dumped a lot of very low skilled, actually no skilled, very poorly trained people that cannot abide by the federal requirements of speak and read English effectively, and it's a danger on the roadway. A few very notable examples that have made the news. Eastern European, I believe he was Russian, was driving on what's called a hotshot rig, a dually with the gooseneck trailer up in New England. He wiped out some motorcyclists on some kind of charity ride and killed a couple. A Hispanic immigrant was driving a truck in Colorado, couldn't read the signs, wasn't trained well enough, burned his brakes up, killed a bunch of people at the base of the mountain on I-70 going into Denver. And then we just recently had the guy, and I don't know if he was from Somalia, but he was somewhere in that region of Africa, and he was pulling a trailer for Amazon Prime and wiped out a bunch of people in Texas on the interstate. I believe 5 people died from that. Again, guys, they make a very unsafe situation on our roadways, and they should not be here. But because the government told law enforcement, do not enforce the English speaking or writing thing, they have no recourse out here, so they're just letting it be. If you want this to change, if you want your roads to get safer, you need to contact your senators, your representatives, the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, the White House. You need to call all these people. You need to raise hell. The truth be told, since this has started, driver deaths and accident rates have been on the increase, not the decrease. So no amount of new regulation is going to fix this, right? We need to get these people off the road that cannot read and speak English. They've got no business behind the wheel of a big truck. If you want to labor dump them into a pool, put them someplace where they're not running down the road at 75 feet long, they're 80, 90, 100, 110,000, 120,000 pounds. Hell, I've met some of them that can't speak English going down the road at 260,000 pounds, no regard for traffic laws and speed limits. Guys, that's unsaid. You want that around your family? Do nothing. You want your kids, your parents, your grandparents, your spouses, you want them all to be safer on the roads, you want to feel more comfortable around the truck drivers, around big trucks out here in the highways? You start contacting people and get all these people off the road and out of the big trucks. There's no excuse for it.
And there you have it there, Taters. So yeah, I love it. I agree with him. A lot of us should contact our politicians, particularly our governor, and to see if we can basically do the same. You should cover all the bases everywhere. ICE is handling it. Homeland Security is handling it. And now we need to handle it on a state level in reference to these illegals or these unqualified immigrants who got here on a rubber stamp, a pat on the back, and an attaboy along with our social benefits. Anyway, I am really happy about this. I want to know what you think, so let me know what you think by leaving a comment below this video. Don't forget to give me a like, and if you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe, and be sure to share this, because I think a lot of people who are on the road would love to know that our roads are safer with laws like this, not only in Arizona, but all over our beautiful country. Later, Taters.